What's up guys, in this video I'm going to compare the Eero 7 to the Eero Pro 7. I've done individual reviews on both of these, so this one's going to be a combined effort where I compare them. We'll go over their specs real quick. I've done the internet speed test, I've done the local speed test, I've done wired and wireless backhaul comparisons for the speed test, I've done range test, and we'll go over the Eero app in a little bit, and I'll give you guys my opinion at the end, which one is worth getting and for what situation basically. So let's get started. Starting off with the Eero 7, it comes with two 2.5 gigabit ports. I love the fact that they're both the same speed, so in theory there should be no drop for internet speeds of up to 2.5 gigabits for Ethernet connected devices. And in case you guys are interested in a setup guide video, I've done a separate video on this where I show you guys all the different ways of connecting it by actually showing you guys the connections using Ethernet cables. I talk about wired backhaul, wireless backhaul, all that stuff. So I'll link that down below. I did that for the Eero 7, and I also did that separately for the Pro 7 as well. So it takes a USB-C power supply, and you're supposed to use the one that it comes with. And it also has a factory reset button right here if you need to factory reset it. Other than that, it's the typical glossy white finish with the Eero, and it looks pretty similar to the Pro 6C. So it comes in as a 2-pack for me. Well, not for me, I should say. I purchased a 2-pack, but you could get it as a single router, you could get it as a 3-pack. And in case you guys are wondering if you want to get more, let's say you want to get 5, and there should be an upward limit of like 5 or 6 or something, but if you need to do that, you could get 2 separate like 3-packs, or you could get a 3-pack and a 2-pack and combine it. And again, I talk about that in the setup guide. Next we get to the Pro 7, and this thing is very similar in terms of features to this Eero 7. However, it's basically more powerful. It can handle internet speeds of up to 5 gigabits per second, so it has 2 5 gigabit ports. We have again, auto sensing just like the Eero 7. We have a USB-C. It does take a little more power. I'll show you guys the power supplies in a second. We have the factory reset right here, and we have a lot of vents. Unlike the 7, this thing actually has a bunch of vents, and then we have some vents on the bottom as well. And just like the 7, both of these are identical. I'm actually the one that labeled this main sticker in case you guys are wondering. When you first get this, you could set up either one as your main router and you're good to go. Again, I talk about that in the setup guide video. I'll show you guys that pretty much. I'll put the links in the description box below in case you guys are interested. I'll also put the product links as well. And here are their respective power supplies. Again, I labeled these just because I have so many routers. I need a way to keep track of them. But basically, we have the Eero 7 right here, and it takes 15 watts of power, and the Eero Pro 7s takes 27 watts of power right here. So it's slightly a bigger plug, but very similar in design. They're both USB-C, and they both can do 100 to 240 volts. So I set up both mesh systems separately. I did all the speed test, range tests with the following Wi-Fi 7 devices. And in case you guys have the latest iPhone, the 16 Pro, the Pro Max, which I have the Pro Max right here, it supports Wi-Fi 7, but I can't get those crazy fast speeds that I can out of these two because the iPhone 16 Pro Max and the 16 Pro appear to be missing the 320 megahertz channel width support, so they can't go as fast. On the Eero 7, it's really not that noticeable, but with the Pro 7 it is. So with the Pro 7, the other two pass 3 gigabits where the iPhone really kind of stays behind around the 1.6, 1.7. Has nothing to do with the Eeros. It has to do with the phones. I've tested this with a lot of other routers, and in fact I made a separate video on the phones just talking about that. So just something to keep in mind. If you guys get the Pro 7, you have the faster speeds, you do a speed test, you're like, why am I not getting these fast speeds? Just know that the iPhone usually doesn't pass the 1.6, 1.7 gigabit mark, which is very fast speeds, but just something to keep in mind. All right. The other thing worth noting is for some reason with the Eero 7, not the Pro 7, but the Eero 7, when I did a speed test on the main router on a Wi-Fi device only, not Ethernet, but on the Wi-Fi device only, I couldn't get as fast speeds as I would on the secondary one. So when I would do a speed test on the primary one, it wasn't as fast as I would do on the secondary one, and there was a pretty big difference in speeds. Now, I think there's going to be a firmware update to address that, because at first I was like, is it a hardware issue? Maybe the main one's messed up. So I did a full factory reset. I set it up and I switched them out, where I made this one the primary one because this one was faster, and then now this one became slower and this one became faster. So I'm like, okay, this seems like a software issue, and I feel like there'll probably be like a firmware update or something like that that will address that issue. So I don't want to ding the Eero 7 too much on that, but just something to keep in mind. The Pro 7 did not have that issue. In fact, I don't think any Eero I've tested has had that specific issue. All right. So, and I talk about that a little bit more in the individual video in case you guys are interested. So, Starting with the internet speed test, as you guys already know, when you're accessing the internet, you are limited by your internet speeds. For me, that would be 5 gigabits per second upload and download, unless, of course, the router itself is capping those speeds, which in my case, the eero 7 is, because we have 2.5 gigabit ports. So as soon as my internet goes in at 5, this port caps it to 2.5. So when I do a speed test on my Ethernet connected device, I do get those like 2.35, 2.4 gigabit speeds, pretty much getting close to those max 2.5 speeds. And then with the eero 7 being 5 gig ports, the fastest speed I saw was like a little over like 4.8 or so. So not quite to my full 5,000 that I see with other routers, but like 4.8. So close enough basically, but something to keep in mind. Now the Wi-Fi devices are a different story. So looking at the results here, on the eero 7, these speeds that I tested are on the secondary device, because on the primary one it wasn't as fast. But on the secondary one I got like 1.65 basically and 1.27. And versus the Pro 7, there's a huge jump because it does support the faster speeds, because it has the 5 gig support, 5 gigabit port speeds. And in addition to that, it has the tri-band, it has the faster speed rating. So that additional 6 gigahertz band really makes a big difference. As you guys could see, the Pro 7 is going a lot faster. Now to find the true performance of these mesh systems, I need to do a local speed test. So I make my computer to the server and I go from Wi-Fi device to router to computer. And in the case of wired and wireless backhaul, I go from Wi-Fi device to the secondary one, which jumps to the primary one, which then goes to the computer. So this way I isolate the mesh system because I'm no longer relying on my internet service provider nor the public speed test server. So looking at these results, we could see that there is an improvement in speed overall, especially with the Pro 7, especially with the Wi-Fi speeds on the upload. So it's ridiculous. I was not expecting 3.85 on the Wi-Fi 7 upload speeds of the Pro 7, coming from a 1.9 on the internet speed test upload. A huge difference. And this was the problem I was talking about with the single router configuration, where for some reason the primary one wasn't as fast. I feel like this will get fixed. Like I got with the wired backhaul speeds, you can expect speeds similar to that. And maybe by the time you're watching this video, maybe it's already been fixed, but just something I'm just noting, just so you guys know. Moving to wired backhaul, we could see we got very similar speeds for the Pro 7, and for the eero 7, this is what I was talking about, where the second one was actually working faster than the primary one. I feel like this will be fixed on the primary one with a firmware update. So the secondary one is kind of the wired backhaul speeds is what I would assume is what you can expect in the future when there's an update. Hopefully that is the case. Then we move to wireless backhaul, and this is really another big difference between the two, because if we look at the Pro 7, we've got over gigabit speeds on wireless backhaul versus the eero 7 is just right around the 500 meg mark. So all around, the Pro 7 is definitely a faster mesh system. So next we get into range test. Now range will vary drastically by location. If you have more obstructions, typically it's going to be less range. So if you're in between walls, thicker walls, if you're in a building with a lot of other routers around, all of this stuff can negatively impact your range. So at my place, both of these are tested in the same environment. So at 20 feet away inside my place, we got some really good speeds. For the Pro 7, there was a massive drop compared to the 7. 7 was less of a drop, but the Pro 7 is coming at faster speeds, so I would pretty much expect a bigger drop. Granted, it's still a lot faster than the eero 7. Then we get to 50 feet, and again, the Pro 7 is really outshining it. Obviously, another huge drop in both cases. But the Pro 7 is really outshining it here. And at 100 feet, this is where the speeds are getting very, very close to each other, because this is when I'm actually across the street doing the speed test. So both very usable speeds in general. For setup and configuration, use the eero app. It's available both on iOS and on Android. It's a very nice, clean interface, and you use the same eero app for both of these. So number one is you can't separate out the frequencies by Wi-Fi name, by SSID basically. So the eero 7 has two frequencies, the 2.4 and the 5 gigahertz, and you can't make a separate SSID for the 2.4 and a separate for the 5. It's just one SSID for both, and the eero automatically handles what frequencies your devices connect to. So I have a bunch of devices, and I personally have had no issues with any eero device, with any of my devices having trouble connecting to the correct frequency. So something to keep in mind. However, if you are someone that does want that separate frequencies, just know that eero can't handle it. Now, the eero actually does have two SSIDs, but it's basically a main SSID and then a guest SSID. And again, they combine the 2.4 and 5. So that the guest network is basically for guests when they come over, just so they won't have access to your local stuff. And the same is true for the Pro 7, except in this case, it's a tri-band, so all three frequencies are comboed into one. So just keep that in mind. They both have the multi-link operation option that you can enable as well. So for Wi-Fi 7 devices, they can connect to both of the frequencies at once. So that is a feature that's in there that you can enable, basically. So the other thing is, if you want parental controls, just know that it requires a subscription. Now, it does have the parental controls, but again, you have to pay a separate subscription in addition to buying the routers. Now, in that subscription, you get additional features. So it's not just you're paying for parental controls. I think you get VPN with it, some ad blocking, and some more advanced security features. But it's basically, it's not included in the price. So those are the two things worth noting with eeros. Now, on the Pro side, you could still, customize the basic stuff. You still have the DHCP. It supports IP version 6. We talked about the MLO. You could enable the whole thread thing, Matter, Zigbee. It supports WPA3. So it has like all the basic stuff. You can reserve some IP addresses and stuff. So it has all the basic stuff, and it's just like a nice clean interface, but it's more of a simplified interface. It's more of a, we're just going to give you less options so there's less confusion kind of thing. Now, to summarize, which one is right for you? Well, it depends on your specific situation. So I would say if you have internet speeds of up to 2.5 gigabits and you're planning on using wired backhaul, I personally would save the money and get the eero 7. If you're faster than that, up to 5 gigs, I would get the Pro 7. If you're planning on using wireless backhaul, the wireless backhaul is not that great on the eero 7. It's much better on the Pro 7. So for wireless backhaul in general, I would recommend the Pro 7. The only thing with the eero 7, and I should mention this, in fact I mentioned in the setup guide, is let's say you get a 3-pack, you can actually mix wired and wireless backhaul. So you could have 2 wired and then third one wireless, and maybe the third one that's wireless, you don't care too much about the speeds near that one. You just have some devices that don't require much speeds, like security cameras or something like that. So in that case, it's fine. It doesn't matter. But if you're like gaming next to the secondary one and you want that like performance, then the Pro 7 is definitely the way to go. So overall, wireless backhaul, definitely have to give it to the Pro 7 hands down. So let me know what you guys think in the comment sections below. And I will be doing another video, or maybe even more than one. I have the eero Max 7, I have the Pro 6C, and I have the 6 Plus. So I might either combo those into one video, or I might actually compare the Pro 7 to the Pro 6C just by itself, and the 6 Plus to the 7 just by itself. I don't know. What do you guys think? You guys think I should just combo everything into one video, or should I do maybe like some iterations of other videos and maybe do like a big one at the end comparing all 5 eeros basically? Anyways, let me know what you guys think in the comment sections below, and as always, smash that subscribe button, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.